In our last video, we talked about housing bubbles. We likely aren't experiencing one nationally, no, but could there be some smaller scale bubbles, like in New York City or San Francisco or Miami? We talked to some brokers and experts to find out. Let's start with the hottest market in the country, Miami.
Bubbles are almost always defined in retrospect because a bubble needs to have, in order for it to have been a bubble, it needs to at some point experience a precipitous sharp decline in asset values.
The 2-year housing boom in Miami, fueled by low interest rates and a lack of pandemic restrictions bringing in new residents from out of state, has slowed with the rest of the country.
Florida's winning on population with the flow of money that's coming in. And to make it really opposite from the last time where debt fueled the market, we have very, very heavy all cash purchasing and very, very low demand. We're seeing, a slowdown in growth, which is to be expected, increasing carry costs, increasing mortgage rates, all that stuff is going to affect transaction volume, which already is for your more normal buyer. But the flow of money, talent, et cetera, coming here, I believe, has just begun. Again, despite all the talks of recession, slowdowns, everything else, Miami hit a record June for million plus.
While brokers are still closing record-setting deals pretty regularly, the intensity of last summer's bidding wars and cash offers without contingencies has waned. In San Francisco, asking prices for luxury real estate are being swiftly slashed amidst buying slowdowns, but brokers believe it to be more indicative of sellers being more realistic rather than something more worrisome.
Whenever we have downturns, it's the super luxury, high-end, the over $10 million market, and then it's the, at the moment, the condominiums, because we have built quite a lot of condominiums in the last few years.
Nearby places like Berkeley are in a huge housing crunch. The story is less uniform in the Bay.
We didn't have the same kind of appreciation that all the areas did around us. So Marin, Napa, Sonoma roared up during the pandemic because a lot of people left San Francisco, especially the higher net worth people. And so our prices just didn't go up that much during the pandemic. So, while they may go down a bit now, I don't see it as any kind of major shift.
New York City has been feeling a slowing residential market. Last month, signings on Manhattan co-ops fell by 30% year over year and 29% for Manhattan condos. Some would-be sellers are even turning to renting out their properties where demand is higher. Although even major cities are feeling the effects of a cooling market, brokers are optimistic about drawing buyers back in and aren't yet entertaining the idea of it indicating a housing bubble. Check back soon for our next video on what that slowing market means for brokers, investors, and the industry.